Let's get to our next call. Thank you for calling West Division champions at the Voice of College Football. Who's on the line?
Well, hi, I'm Neil. I'm from Muskegon, Michigan. I'm a Wolverine fan. I want to congratulate Iowa.
Well, congratulations to you too.
Thank you. I'm a little worried about Iowa because they are just so sneaky, gritty good. I really, really think that if Michigan is not at our top of our game, things could be a close loss. I don't see Iowa blowing us out. I don't see us blowing Iowa out. I think it's going to be a tough game. I'm going to say Michigan 20, Iowa 17 or something like that. But, again, I really respect the way you guys win ball games, and hats off to you. Thank you.
Appreciate the call this evening. And absolutely, if I'm an Iowa fan, Don, or a Michigan fan, excuse me, I'm somewhat concerned that Michigan could have a hangover next weekend and not be ready for the Big Ten title game because of how big that Michigan win was today, Don. Just talk a little bit about mental aptitude next week.
I think you're right. It was a game that meant the world to the Michigan players and the Michigan coaches. Obviously, the fans feel strongly about the game too. And you're right. They used up a lot of emotional energy today to win that game. It's what it took. And there's always the possibility of a slight letdown thereafter because, let's face it, that's a huge monkey to get off their back is a win over the Buckeyes because that one's really been a thorn in their side for so many years.
First question is for Don. As an offensive guy, what are some things that you would do preparing for this kind of Michigan defense, or what are some things you'd be, or working up for this Big Ten title game?
Well, one of the things you would routinely look for, realizing you got an entire 12 games you could take a look at, Michigan having already played 12, you simply recognize that some teams game plan against Michigan better than others. And I don't know who they would be off the top of my head because, like I said, I haven't done the analytics yet. But I will guarantee you that if you would be able to evaluate each and every opposing offense for how they attacked Michigan, some had good ideas, some did not. You're kind of foolish if you don't try to expand on those teams that had a good idea, or maybe more than one good idea. And that's why you've heard me say before, game planning is so critical. And I'd like to believe there are going to be some plays we run on Saturday night that we've yet to run this year. And they're the product of really, really extensive game planning. The problem you have, of course, you only have a week to prepare for the game. And obviously the game plan has to be in place here within a couple of days. So it's a time intensive job. You've heard me say before, Corey, my goal was to get 4 hours sleep a night. And that would be Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Thursday night. And then people always made the comment, I bet you're really nervous the night before the game. And the answer is no, I'm exhausted. I slept great on Friday night for that Saturday game. So same thing with this. You got a week to prepare. And obviously those teams that move the ball effectively, it's kind of crazy not to study those games and be able to examine how do they move it. Is it possible that we can move it in much the same way? Or better yet, maybe we see some things off these other games that could be done to Michigan, and yet nobody's done it. You've heard me say before, Corey, it's really a game of what if. What if we did this? What if we did that? And you're basing it on actual film study. Maybe you're not looking at the plays you're thinking about running, but you're simply using your imagination to be able to predict how that reaction is going to be on the part of Michigan's defense. That's what effective game planning is. And I'll be disappointed in us if we don't have some wrinkles that Michigan has never seen us run. That's what should happen.
Yeah, I certainly hope we have some wrinkles. Just as an outsider's view, looking at Michigan's schedule, I look at their loss to Michigan State and what Michigan State was able to do to get a win, spreading the ball around, getting it to their playmakers. So using a more open attack, which seemed to work for them. Iowa's more of a slow it down, take advantage of time of possession, grind it out style, kind of like a Wisconsin. And you see what Wisconsin's style of offense did against Michigan. It was none too effective. I believe they lost 38-17 or something along those lines. So I'm kind of curious to see what we come up with come the championship game. So, but either way, looking forward to that. The only thing before I let you guys go, Don, I don't know if you have or how much pull you have, but if you could call in the powers that be at Kinnick or to the Iowa staff and please implore them to have some exotics and plays to stretch the ball down the field, we'd greatly appreciate it as fans.
Well, I appreciate that. I think it goes without saying, if you're playing against a really outstanding opponent, you better have some pretty aggressive play calling on your side to be able to win that game. And the tricky part there, of course, we can't be stupid with what we do. You know, if we expose our offensive tackles and we're holding the ball for a long time in the backfield, that presents an obvious problem. But maybe we can go play action. As you mentioned, Corey, maybe we can take advantage of waste downs when a lot of teams don't do that. And the bottom line is we have to play to win and not fall into that trap of playing not to lose. If you play not to lose, then typically you do.